Hello everybody, this is James coming at you with my in the bag video. This is my first video that I'll be putting up, so just ahead of time, if there are any comments or suggestions you'd like to make, please let me know. So at this time, I'm actually going to set my bag aside. I'm going to go a little bit over what I've been throwing on lately during this off season, starting out with my putters. So up first, got a couple soft Neutron Envies. This orange one is probably my oldest disc in the bag. It's the most beaten and probably one of my favorite, most reliable discs that I use today. This white one, a little bit newer, a little bit more stable. I kind of use this one as my go-to when I want to throw the Envy, but I know that orange one is going to be just a touch too unstable. Up next, I've got a matching pair of soft Electron Pilots. These have been kind of my go-to putters since I've got them in the last couple weeks. They did really well for me at the Wolfpack tournament this past weekend, and really interested to see how these beat in and how much they do for me during practice. Up next, this is a soft Neutron Envy. This has been one of my go-to putters for the last year or so. With the addition of my pilots, though, I'm not really sure how much more I'll be using this one. I might keep it in just for when I feel like those pilots are just a touch too glidey. I need something, a little bit more hyzer, something to fight the winds a little bit easier. Last up, I've got a Cosmic Neutron Pilot. I've actually lost this one for a while. It just got returned to me, so I'm happy to have it back. This is really good off the tees. By far one of my favorite throwing putters in my bag. And lastly, my Neutron Entropy. I know it looks like a Cosmic, but sometimes you just find that cool burst that you gotta have. And this one I've had since the Entropies came out, and it's still going strong. Also has the added benefit of being one of my 2 ace discs, the other one being my soft Neutron Envy. This one has 2 on it actually, only one of them I really counted though. Moving on to my mid-ranges, the newest addition to my bag is a Neutron Vector. The Neutron Vector is one of the first discs that I had by MVP. It's actually a Proton, but I lost that not too long ago, so I've been using the reactors, which I'll show in just a moment, but Vector is a pretty good all-around disc. This one, a few times that I threw it, it did seem a little bit flippy. If you can see it on the camera, maybe not, there's a bit of a dome to this, so I'm going to see how this breaks in over the season. Up next, a Prism Neutron Pyro. This disc is pretty beef. I really like this for shorter holes, about 250, and it's about the only disc that I can forehand consistently. I've been working on my forehands a lot lately, so it's not actually the only one I can throw very well anymore, but it is still one of my favorites for the forehand. Up next, I've got a pair of reactors, Neutron Reactor and a Glow 2.0 Eclipse Reactor. The Eclipse Reactor is a little bit more stable than the Neutron Reactor. That tends to be the case in the Eclipse plastic, and if you've seen my post before, I've shown how well this does at night or in the dark, and it's definitely one of my favorite discs. Rounding out the mid-range selection, I have a Axiom Alias in the Proton plastic. I haven't been throwing this one quite as much lately. I've been using my Envy for a lot of shots that this can do. However, with the larger bag, it is going to come back into play, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with this still. Going on to my fairway drivers, I don't have quite a lot. MVP hasn't really had a whole lot that I need right now, but what I do have I really like. Starting with this amp, no longer in production. It's still one of my favorite fairway drivers. I think this is the second one that I've bought. I have had a third one that I found and proceeded to lose in the same round on the same course, so I guess no harm there. This Neutron Drift by Streamline has been an interesting disc for me. I don't really tend to throw a lot of understable stuff, but this one I'm using just to kind of learn to control those hyzer flips a little bit better. So for me right now, I tend to stick to more open holes with this one, just so that I can give that room to play with, as opposed to trying to hyzer flip a tight wooded line. Up next, I've got what seem to be the same disc, but they're not. This in my left hand is my Crave, and this is a Clash. I kind of use these together in tandem because they fly fairly similar. This Clash has a little bit of extra fade at the end of the flight, so I'm going for a straight shot that I don't trust the Crave to not turn over on me, just to push it out a little bit further. I might go with the Clash, so just that it finishes out a little bit faster. The Crave is probably my go-to fairway driver. I used it a lot this past weekend, and when I wasn't hitting trees, it was going nice and straight and going pretty far for a fairway driver, so I'll continue to use that and get better with it. And yeah, going on to the distance drivers. I haven't been throwing a whole lot of high-speed distance drivers lately. The ones that I do have in my bag right now, some of them are just to kind of test out, see how they fit into my bag, and see if I like them for this coming season. So with my distance drivers, we'll start out with the Fireball. I just got this one not too long ago, so it's not very beat in yet. It is probably the lightest disc that I have in my bag at 165. It doesn't make it any less fun to throw though. Definitely had some pretty good lines with this past weekend when I needed it. Another new addition to my bag is the James Conrad Volts. These things were in pretty high demand when they came out a couple weeks ago, and I'm happy to have gotten my hands on one. Also especially happy with the color that it came in. I like orange discs or blue when I can help it. Unfortunately, I didn't get to really pick the color. I am thankful for getting a good color though. It's easy to find. I've also got a Wrath here. Haven't been using this one as much either, but again, with the bigger bag, I'm able to kind of slot in some more discs just to see how things work and really fine-tune my bag over the next couple weeks. I like to use this Wrath and this Volt, trying to still figure out which one I like more. Right now though, I think it's the Volt. And then for my last distance driver and kind of my lower speeds, I have a Lift, which I've really enjoyed for kind of big distance shots off the tees. It's not too flippy, does have kind of reliable fade at the end of the flight. Overall, a really fun disc to throw. Alright, for my high speed distance drivers, my favorite is the Octane. The Octane was my first ace disc. Obviously it's not this one, otherwise it'd be up on my wall, but I have really enjoyed this one. It is starting to get a little beat in though, so it does turn over on me a bit, so I'm having to kind of adjust on the fly to compensate for that. I've got 2 waves. Up until a couple months ago I had never really thrown a wave, but I have 2 of them now, one in the fission plastic, one in the photon plastic, or excuse me, the plasma plastic. Not really sure which one I'll like more yet. I was throwing the fission wave for a little bit. It did take a spot out of my bag though, that I needed Halligan. Yeah, so I've got 2 waves here, one in the fission plastic and one in plasma. I haven't really figured out which one I like more yet. I've got both of them about Christmas time, so I haven't had them for too long yet. It has been kind of cold up here, so I haven't been able to play quite as much as I wanted to either. I really have enjoyed this one, the fission. The few times that I have thrown it, it is really flippy, so I just have to remember to put enough hyzer on it to give it that full flight. That if I want to throw a big anhyzer shot or just have something finish right, this is a good one for it if I need the distance. I've got a photon in the plasma plastic. I haven't thrown this one a whole lot. This was kind of another lost and found disc, no name on it. But I've thrown it a couple times, and out in the field it was one of my furthest drivers, so I'll certainly give it a shot to see how it does over the season. I can't make any guarantees that this will stay in though, unless it just performs miraculously and I fall in love with it. Helps that it's a nice color though. Pink's pretty easy to find. And lastly, my trace. My trace has been one of my favorite discs lately. It's a very, fairly stable driver. It's not too fast, but it gets me that distance that I need off the tee, and has a pretty reliable finish as well. So that wraps it up for the discs that I carry. Throughout the season, I imagine a few of them will change here and there. But let's go into what some of the other things I like to carry with me during a round are. So, starting out, just the first thing I grabbed, my JBL speaker, really great for casual rounds. If I'm by myself or with some friends, it's always great to have some fun. Music helps us relax. And if I'm wearing my headphones during a round, it usually helps me focus a little bit more, stay out of my own head, kind of helps with the mental game. Of course, gotta have a mini. Good thing about this bag is it does have a mini pocket on the top. And it also, I just found out, has 2 inner pockets on the sides, so I've thrown in a couple more minis there. Knocking out silica packet. I have a battery pack charger, whether it be for my speaker or my phone. If I'm out on the course and need a quick charge, this always comes in handy. I have a pencil and a Sharpie. Pencils for scorecards, Sharpies for discs that you get if you're at a tournament, you get a new disc, you want your name on it, so you don't lose it. Always good to have with you. 2 water bottles. With my old bag, I was only able to carry one at a time comfortably. I could put one inside, but that would take up room for other stuff that I wanted. So with this new bag, I'm really happy that it's got 2 water bottle pockets. It's not so bad right now, but during the summer, I'll usually go through 2 water bottles in a round. So definitely awesome to have for me. The last couple things I've got are rain fly that also came with the bag for those really wet and nasty rounds that you gotta keep some of your stuff dry. And then another thing that I really enjoy is a flight towel. I have a trace grip on mine, so very similar to this one right here. The color being the same, not really intentional, but cool nonetheless. This is really good for stretching, warming up, just making sure you have good form on your throws. Because when you go through, you really want to kind of get that snap out of that towel. So another really good thing that I like to have with me. An added benefit too is this microfiber towel is probably one of the best drying towels that I've used. I also have an Innova towel that is currently in the wash right now just because it's never been washed before. So that'll also go in my bag for just a quick access. And then last thing is this chair here. Really good tournament seat. I haven't gotten to use it in an actual round yet, but the height's good. It supports my weight. I'm not that big of a guy, but bigger than most. So yeah, good thing to have when you're in those long tournament rounds and going pretty slow. I also have this rosin bag. This one's kind of old. I might be looking into getting a new one soon. But while it's still kind of cool out, it's not too hot. I don't really have much problems with getting sweaty hands, but during the summer, I'll definitely be looking into getting a new one of these. So. As for the bag itself, I just got it today, so I'm still kind of checking it out. But one thing I do like about this bag is how light it is. I think once I had it unloaded and I was comparing my old shift bag with it, I really didn't notice that much of a weight difference. So I'm actually really happy about that because I'm putting more discs in, I've got more water, I'm going to be carrying more weight, and any weight that I can save in the bag is, you know, weight that I can put into something else. I grew up hiking, backpacking a lot with the Scouts, so you know, I like lightweight things. It's not really a super necessity, but you know, over a couple hours rounds, it does kind of wear you out a little bit. Yeah, so going on with this bag, as you can see, I just pulled this front flap out of its pocket, but it rolls up nicely, fits in there, out of the way. There is a pocket in on this top flap that is a little bit padded, really soft fabric inside, so you can put valuables like phone, watch, or anything you don't want to get scratched up in there, and it'll stay safe. Very nice big side pockets here, on each side, obviously. More than enough space to put things like jackets, rain flies, extra minis, whatever you might need. I think you can even fit a disc or two in here. I think they're big enough, yeah. So extra disc storage if you really need it. 25 discs is enough for me. I can fit 19 on the bottom, 3 on each slot. I don't really need more than that. I probably will end up using less than that most of the time, especially during a tournament round. The back is really nice and padded. Come to be what I've expected from Upper Park in the past. Their shift bag, I really tried to sell a lot of people on just because of how comfortable it was. Early on bags did have their flaws. They didn't stand up very well. They have improved on that over time, and you can see it with this bag. It has no problem standing straight up on its own. I'm hoping that once I get out to the course and get to field test it, kind of holds up to the performance so far. So on the side here, you do have a Velcro strap that you can use for your tournament seat or umbrella just to hold it in place. Top has the little D-ring loops that you can clip stuff onto, whether it be speaker, towels, bag tags, whatever you need. So yeah, I think it's a pretty brief review on my bag and my in the bag and what I like to carry with me during the round. I'm really excited for the season. Some news as of last Friday, I ran for the president of the AppState Disc Golf Club, as I'm representing here. And I'm happy to say that I won the election. I'm really honored to take on such an important role of growing this club. The sport's been a huge part of my life ever since I picked it up in 2010. I have never stopped loving it. I love introducing new people to the sport. So yeah, I'm just really excited to take on this role, see what I can do with it, and how we can grow the club on throughout the year. We do have some pretty exciting plans coming up this year. If you don't know, we are in the works of getting a clinic hosted by the AppState Club as well. We are going to be holding a clinic hosted by Chris Dickerson. I believe we also have Jeremy Colling interested in coming out to help with that. And it's actually a 2-day event. So the first day will be the clinic, And then the second day will be a campus tournament. We'll set up a temporary course, just like we did a couple years ago. The layout may change, might not. Hasn't been really a whole lot of details discussed on that yet. But stay tuned for that. Definitely exciting stuff coming up. But yeah, if there's anything you might have for me, suggestions, comments, again, please let me know. Like I said, this is gonna be my first video that I put up. Earlier this year, I did take a couple videos of putting. I did 9 holes out at Ashe County Park. I did edit those just a little bit. I wasn't super happy with how my putting was, so I kind of scrapped that video. And then my camera work wasn't great on the 9-hole round, so you know, I was using that video as practice for a lot of things. But I may do another one here soon when the weather's a little bit better. I can spend more time out on the course. When I did it a couple weeks ago, I was a little bit rushed. I had to get back to class, but yeah, another one will be coming soon. You know, just more practice for me so that I can make better quality stuff, because that's my goal for this year. It's been one of my goals for a little while now, but I'm finally kind of gathering everything I need to prepare for that. And yeah, we'll see how it goes over this year, and hopefully it's something I can continue for a while, and see where it gets me in the future. So, hope you guys like this. Be sure to like or subscribe. You know, I may be putting out some more videos pretty soon. This week is looking pretty nice. The weather out is really good right now. Not too cold. Yeah, I'm out in shorts and a t-shirt, sitting right in the sun though, and the wind's not too bad either. So yeah, hopefully you guys are doing well, and hope to see y'all again soon. Thanks.